Oh, hello. Walker, this is Dance Walker Tarot. I'm doing a relationship issue reading for Aquarius and Libra. Do Libras and Aquarius fall in love? Oh, my lord. You must have a lot of fire in your chart, and they must have a lot of water in their chart. Or vice versa. Or you have both in your chart, or they have both in their chart, and they're very airy, which would explain this divide between you two. I think for some of you, you've been an established couple for a while, and you're feeling them distance themselves, or that's how you see it. For some of you, it's a very mundane issue, and it is that they're online too much, they play video games too much. It's like they are kind of sucked into this virtual world, and it takes them away from the actual physical world. It takes them away from you. And that brings me to how different you are. I'm not sure how you fell in love. I'm not sure how you found each other, how you fell in love. You're so different. This side represents them, or this is you, take it as it resonates. But a lot of Libra energy here, Aquarius energy here, they are very solitary. Okay, they're nocturnal. They're nocturnal and they are solitary. With this owl from the Untamed Elemental deck here. You know, they're kind of a creature of darkness. They thrive at night. They feel more creative at night. Or this is you. You know, you see in the dark. You see through everyone's bullshit. So much so that you just don't have any patience for the rat race anymore. Or the day-to-day small talk sort of thing. Or maybe that's how they feel, kind of your interactions. You feel ignored and they feel it as just avoiding small talk that's unnecessary, something like that. But they need alone time to recharge, so I'm guessing that they are not really expressing themselves to you as they could be, because you're starting to wonder, like, if they still love you, and they do. They do. It's just so different. You over here, um, it could be that, uh, maybe they got a lot of Virgo in their chart and they're very analytical and you're very passionate, but also emotional, because over here for you, we have the sun and Libyan gold tektite. So you're kind of the opposite of feeling like it's okay to always be online or to focus on technology or to live in a world that is on screen instead of, at your fingertips. Like you're kind of at odds with not just the way that you are, but maybe with money, kids, like the way you raise your children might be different parenting styles. It could even be different investing styles with money. You're old fashioned and you would invest in gold, silver, and they're talking about, cryptocurrencies, and maybe you're just not on the same page with the future of finances, and that's also been an issue. But you're very happy go lucky. You love being around people. You feel like you kind of get your battery more recharged around people than they do. And you love the daytime. They're kind of a night owl, and you love being out in the sunshine, right? You might be Libyan tech. You might be from Northern Africa or have Northern African heritage or even Middle Eastern, maybe, and they might be of Asian descent or maybe even Russian or Eastern European, something like that. But you have kind of a different genetic makeup. You come from different kinds of people, different families, different backgrounds. And you almost like you see that the world interacts with the each of you kind of differently. But however it happened, they're the yin to your yang. And you love them very much too, let's be honest. It's just you're feeling abandoned and neglected. You're feeling abandoned and neglected. Right? It's not like you want their undivided attention, but you would like attention. So this can be fixed. This is something that can be worked out. Because what you have in common here, let me show you. If you were wondering, do they still love me? Oh yeah. You are still their wish fulfillment. They have an unconditional love for you that's not going anywhere, okay? And it's reciprocal, you feel the same way. You want to give and take in this loving relationship. You want to provide them um, with emotional security, but right now you're not feeling very emotionally secure because of all the time they're spending online or in this video game, or maybe they work from home and it's taken over everything, it's taken over the home. So a conversation needs to be had, and you can do that. So these cards are just kind of giving you advice of how to go about that. You're not going to make it a huge deal. You are kind of trying to build a bridge with someone who's off in space right now. So keep in mind it might not be immediate that they even give it the time to relate to it. So baby steps here, baby steps. It's telling you just to kind of make sure that they're fed, maybe cook them their favorite meal or something to have this conversation. It's saying have it inside, don't go to a restaurant to have it. They might feel put on the spot. And this person's more solitary anyway, remember. So a situation for this conversation that might make you feel more secure, like being at a park or being in the sun or being in public, it's going to be easier for this person to digest at home. Maybe in the evening when they're feeling more open and receptive to new ideas and suggestions. Their favorite food, they're fed, they have their physical needs met, they're not tired like in the morning. Maybe you feel ready to go with this conversation, but they're not going to be there yet. So it's just telling you to kind of be patient and keep all of these things in mind. The way to go about this with them is not to, although they have a scientific mind and so do you're both, very practical when it comes to negotiation, I feel like. So you trying to convince them of the practical reasons why it's not good for them and their health to be online and play video games all day or whatever that is. That's not going to work because they won't agree with you and they'll just brush it off like, ugh, they don't know what they're talking about. Like they'll see you as having some sort of a caveman mentality, which is not what it is at all. But going about it that way, like, this is good for you, is not necessarily going to work. What's going to work is you just being completely honest about why you're really having this conversation, and it's that you miss their companionship. You miss them, and you want them to spend more time, energy, and thought, like thought, basic thought, and consideration for you. And it's slipped away and it's made you feel like there's a huge distance between you. They might not even be feeling the same way, which is why a conversation needs to be had. So they might not agree that it's better physically, emotionally, and spiritually for them to quit, but what they will do is be considerate of your heart and your feelings because you are their person at the end of the day, and they might not be self-aware of how hurt you are by this. Feeling alone right next to the one you love, it's a very cold, sad feeling. And maybe that's just what you need to be honest about. Be like, I understand that you need your alone time. I need our us time. So if it's a situation where you have to do that thing where you schedule in time for intimacy or romance or a date once a week, I think that's a practical way to go about it. And they will be receptive to that. Because at the end of the day, you have the same goals. There's an unconditional love there, a friendship there, and a want and a need on both of your sides to keep this family together, to keep this relationship together. Even though you're so different, you are the yin to their yang, and they don't want you to leave. And the fact that you might even be considering it or misinterpreting this as them wanting to, that's going to wake them up. That'll light a fire under their butt. Okay? So whenever you find this is like air sign, but a lot of fire and earth here as well. Between the two of you, you've got all like the abilities and talents in the world covered. And I think you've been as patient as you need to, and it's time to show up for yourself by asking them to show up more in real life, in real time, in 3D for you, your children, your family, or just this connection. Okay. This is just a mini, so I'm going to leave it there. I hope this resonates for somebody. Let me know below if it did. Give me a thumbs up if it sounds familiar. And know that you do have a beautiful future ahead. There just needs to be some communication. So be a little careful about how you bring it up. Don't try to make it seem like it's something they should do for themselves. And just be honest that you love them, you miss them, and you would love some more time and attention. Okay? Aquarius, Libra, or that's who you're dealing with. You got this, you can do this. The time period would be, in the next 6 days. Definitely in the next month, before a 6-week period has passed, should you have this as a goal and kind of make it happen. You can do it. You got this. All right, I'm Walker. This is Dance Walker Tarot. This was a random specific relationship reading, and I'll see you for the next one, okay? Bye-bye.